Oh man. All right, we got a good one to go over here with a couple really big situations. One with pocket kings, then I had like a 2-5 or a 2-6 we're going to get into, and I'll tell you what. You guys are definitely going to want to stick around to the end for this one, so go grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, some coffee, and we're going to get right into this. Also, I'm going to say this one time, if you're not in our community yet, I don't know why you're not in it. That's going to be in the pinned comment. You could talk with me. There's some other high-level members in there, and a lot of good stuff. Also, if you could tap the like on this, and let's get right into it. And for the most part in this, you're going to see me making some bluffs to kind of start things off here, but then kind of as we move on, I kind of tightened up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, this was just this was just something, right? I think we went up to like 1900 in this, like something like that. Yeah, I mean, ooh, definitely some good situations in here. Anyways, first hand right there, just kind of probably should have just got away from it, but I didn't. Next one, we got a jack for offsuit. I think I'm gonna actually raise this, and let's take a flop. Now we're gonna pair the four here. Obviously, our hand isn't very strong, but I'm gonna kind of continue. You know, I like to mix things up. I will play these garbage hands, especially when we're kind of like short-handed here. You know what I mean? Turn card was actually pretty good. It gave us a flush draw to the jack. Could also hit two pair, trip, something like that. But we got none of it. I just felt like if I tried to bluff at this one, maybe this guy calls me, but didn't even matter. He just checked it over to us, and we took it down with fours. So, yeah, I'll take it. Next one, queen three. Also, you know, the way I approach playing is more like exploitative. You know what I mean? I'm not really using a strategy, if that makes sense. And yeah, but more on that in the group if you want to, you know, like I said, talk to me. Anyways, here we go. Jack six suited. You know we got to open here, right? Now player two is going to kick it up to the 55 piece, and of course, I'm not folding just yet. We did pair the six here, but we're still losing to all those ace X type of hands, which he likely re-raised us. But I'm going to continue here. And when we got that turn card, you know, my eyes kind of lit up a little bit right here. I'm like, okay, we're not dead yet, okay? And player two, rightfully so, if he had a hand like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, whatever, he's gonna follow through. But he checked it, which to me was kind of a mistake. I am going to try to almost bluff him off of this. But he called us. But the river card we got there anyways. So yeah, I feel like we only had one play left here, and maybe he calls us, maybe he doesn't. But you know, regardless, I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do here. We're just gonna come over the top. We were pretty much even at this point. This was just kind of like just a super sick run out. You know, we went from bluffing that turn basic semi. Wait, I was bluff, and then we kind of got there with the four. I was kind of just like, I guess today's our day. This guy's gonna let the clock run down. You know, I would expect him to maybe call here if he's got ace king or even ace jack maybe. I don't know. It almost looks bluffy, I guess. I was gonna say too, like if he's got a hand that's blocking the clubs, like let's say he's got ace king and he's got like the ace of clubs or the king of clubs, then it'd be even a tougher decision for him. But he is gonna muck it. Unfortunately, I was really just like, I thought maybe he was gonna call us down, but he didn't. All right, next one we got aces. We move on, but the jack six, getting it done right there. Okay, getting it done. All right, opening 1250 here piece. I think player one is. I mean, obviously you want to see somebody re-raise, right? And player one is going to do that. Going to kick it up to the 4250. It's going to come back over to player four. Couple things I could do here. You know, we could re-raise. We could also throw in some shoves. I like that too. I think either's fine. You know, you might get some opponents who call you with mid pocket pairs like jacks, queens, and then of course the occasional kings somebody will run into against aces or ace king. You know what I mean? So those are kind of the ones that are gonna, you know, make a call. But yeah, I just decided to do this. Kind of just hoping one of these guys makes the call. Maybe player one, because he did that early position, but he didn't. When he folded, I knew player four wasn't going to call. But it's all good. It's all good, guys. You know, I'll still take it down, and it is what it is, right? All right, 6-8, folding it, not playing that garbage. And, you know, so far, you know, starting things off pretty good here. Things are kind of just going our way, too, especially with that Jack 6 suited. But, you know, yeah, then we got aces, basically. But we are gonna get there. I'll tell you what, man. You're gonna want to stick around for till the end for this, because I kind of just what happened in this one was just something else, you know. And we will make our way to the a pocket king situation, followed up by like a 2-5 suited, but we'll work our way there. So I had a 6-8 off here. We would have had like an up and down. Glad I wasn't in this one, because we would have missed the turn. 2 flush draws out there. And of course, going to the river here would have been not so good. Now, if our 6-8 was suited, I definitely would have played it. But it wasn't. And we would have missed anyways. Look at this. Player one, re-raise. 2 flush draws out there, too. You got some weird straights out there, too. Like 8-10s, Jack 10, suited, you know, those type of things. But player three got out of the way. I have no idea what player one had. And, you know, bravo, sir. Bravo. Okay, next one, ace three off. We are in the big blind, so I usually do defend with these hands. When it's suited, obviously it's going to be much better. When it's not suited, it's like not the best, but you know, I'm still going to defend. I think, yeah, we're going to go 3 ways. And we did pair the ace. And this is kind of like the tough, you know, thing about pairing an ace against 2 other opponents. You know, when you get somebody raising, is like the kicker is just not good. However, the turn was good. This is going to make it a lot less likely anybody has an ace. But I'm going to continue kind of just playing defense on this, because I wasn't very excited about this one anyways. I think player 4 might put something out there. No, we just checked it. And I was actually just like, whatever. Probably should have done something there, but I didn't. It is what it is, right? Probably one of the only mistakes I made in this one was right there, too. So don't be too harsh on me. All right, 3-9 off. We are mucking it. We ain't playing no 3-9 off. Get out of here. No, sir. No, sir. Okay. All good. In the neighborhood. All right, Jack deuce. Folding that. No, thank you. Would have paired the deuce here. Ten on the turn. All right, and I'm pretty sure this one check. Yeah, he got a 6 on the river. That was kind of like whatever. Now we had aces again. Aces twice in this one. All right, we'll take it. Gonna kick it up here. 1250 piece. Gonna come back around. This one I don't know. Pretty safe flop for us. I mean, you're probably gonna see a lot of calls here with you know, mediocre pairs. King on the turn. Pretty good too. So we're going to continue here. Keeping it friendly, just trying to keep this guy, you know, in it. River card was a 10. I didn't like that. I'm not saying he has a 10. I just didn't like it, so I checked it back. He had a pair of 3s. And, you know, I don't know if he would have called again. Maybe, but, you know, it is what it is. I just didn't like seeing that 10 hit the river. All right, next one. Jack, queen off. Kind of making our way through here. And, yeah, starting to go up a little bit more. We still got a couple spots you don't want to miss. All right, and player 5 is going to call. All right, nothing there. Definitely could consider continuing here but I mean, I was looking at player two. He doesn't really have a whole lot left, so I'd expect him to maybe try to make some kind of play. Turn card was a 9, which did give us more outs. I mean, we got a 10 to a straight, plus we could hit a jack or a queen, so not a bad one. Problem is, player 5 is basically putting player 2 all in, which he does go all in. Ace 9 versus King 5. We look at that. Player 5 was slow playing the 5 right there. That was a good fold. And it felt like something was up. Like, why are you leading out on the turn like that? So it was a good fold. All right, Queen 10, next one. I believe we are going to just check this one, which I was fine doing. Now, we did pair the 10. Player 4 limped into this. I am going to keep him honest. Turn card was a 9. Doesn't really change a whole lot here. We're still losing to all those aces. He checked it. We basically both checked it, and the pair of 10s took it down. So, felt pretty good about that. And sevens. Now, I was in a tricky spot here with sevens. It's a mid pair. Player 5's going to re-raise. I am going to call this because, I mean, you got to look at this. I mean, we're all so deep in here. Plus, if I can spike a 7 against player 5, it could be good. So, got to do it. Got to do it, okay? Got to do it. Okay, and of course, we didn't get the 7. There's a 6 out there. It couldn't have been a 7, right? So, if player 5 goes pretty large here, it's probably just going to get me out of this. I'm just not going to continue. Plus, you have to look at it like, if player 5 is going to lead out pretty big here into 2 opponents, then he's got to have something pretty good, right? I mean, anything above 10s, jacks, and above, He went not super big, but when player 4 did this, I had no choice but to fold it, which was very frustrating. You know what I mean? I had calling player 5. I did it because I still felt like he might be trying to get us off this with ace king, ace queen. But when he came over the top like that, obviously we had to let it go. All right, so we had queens versus jack 10. Now I was wrong about what player 5 had. It is what it is. You know, the result would have been the same. So I mean, whatever. All right, so now we got deuces, sevens, we got the ducks. Maybe we get a duck here. I decided to put in the raise. No duck. Now we got to just check it. Or I went for it here, I'm sorry. All right, he called, not good. So now we're definitely losing here with the ducks. Can't really bluff into this at all. We're not blocking anything. And that guy called us down with sevens, which definitely kind of irked me a little bit, So we went from sevens to deuces to fours. Like, what? All right, so here we go. This is something right here. Now, player 2 is going to limp in there. Player 3 is going to raise it. And once again, we're going to play a pocket pair, and we can never seem to get anything with a pocket pair. But you know what? We're going to do this, okay? Player 3 is going to put in a small raise, pretty small, and, obviously we're going to call, It's like one of these times we got to get a 4, we got to get a set, right? It's got to happen at some point. At least that's what I was thinking. So, but yeah, we're never folding here. So I'm going to call. Back over to player 2, who I believe is going to call as well. And maybe it was player 1. Let me see. No, it was player 2. So yeah, we're going to go 3 ways. And look at this. We got the 4. Shut the door. Okay. Now I'm going to check it. There's a hard draw out there. Not a whole lot to worry about here. Player 2 is going to, I think, lead out. And then player 3... player 2 let out pretty big. I mean, look at that. That's pretty big. And then player 3 is going to raise him. I mean, this is the dream spot, unless he's got pocket 10s, but I don't really see that. So this is the dream spot. Player 3 could have a couple different hands, maybe like ace, queen, ace, king of hearts. He could also have, it's possible he has aces or kings. It's definitely possible, especially making this kind of raise on player 2. We just don't want it to be tens, right? But he's going to go pretty big. And it didn't feel like tens. It felt like either the nut flush draw or overpair. I mean, that's about it. Aces, kings, or the nut flush draw does this, I think. But that's it. I don't know if tens does. I don't know if tens does this or just slow plays it. So I had to kind of rule out tens. And then I'm gonna let the clock run down a little bit here, and obviously if player three is gonna do this, then he's gonna make this call, and I think that we're gonna get a 2-for-1 here. And hopefully we're in a good spot, right? So yeah, here we go. Player two is going to fold, which I was very surprised about, but player three is not folding. He is going to turn over kings, man. And this is probably not how you want to play kings, which kind of brought us back to the title of this. Now we dodged it on the turn, and we dodged it on the river. So very nice, but we got one more right here. Right after, literally like right after this hand, we had this is like a 2-6 or a 2-5 suited, something like that. Yeah, 2-5 suited, which is a monster, of course. I'm always playing this, especially on the button. Going to kick it up here to the 1250 piece, and I think player one is, I want to say player one raises us. Let's see. Doesn't matter. I'm going to play this 2-5 suited. Got to play that 2-5 suited, of course. Now the reason I make these calls is because you got to be thinking like your opponents are going to do this with with all of your ace kings, ace queens suited, mid pocket pairs, and I'm also pretty confident in that I can outplay opponents post flop if it's bad flops. Now I'm gonna just call this, and hopefully get some kind of good flop for a 2-5 suited, and we did. We hit trips. Oh, look at that. All right, so I know player one's behind. So there's no reason to do anything but call because he's probably just going to continue here. I would too. I mean, this is such a bad flop that like you got to continue, right? So that's what I'm expecting, but I'm not going to raise. There's no reason. So I'm just going to call here. I'm hoping that there's no heart on the turn because I want it to be a brick, So we're just going to call, and it was actually a good turn card. That's not really going to change a whole lot. So it's a 4, which actually gives us a straight draw too now to go with trips. There's 2 flush draws out there now. You got the hearts, the diamonds, but I'm still not really thinking about that at all. I'm thinking that this guy doesn't have a whole lot, so I want to string him along, That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to keep it small. I want to almost induce a bluff doing this. That's what I was thinking because I want to keep him in this. So I was like, don't want to go big. I want to string him along, and maybe we get some of those ace king, ace queen type of things to call. And you could see how small I was making this, very small relative to how things have been going. He is going to call, and look at this river. I really think this could have been scripted any better, the way I played this one. Unfortunately for him, we know he got stubborn. We know he got stubborn with all of those ace X type of hands, and he is going to feel the pain on this because he just got that ace. He just got that ace. He was floating us like he wasn't a believer. So he's going to lead out here, and what we're going to do. We are going to raise it, and I'm expecting him to call every single time here because what could I have? The heart draw missed, a lot of weird straight draws missed, everything missed. So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely just a spot where this guy's just going to be feeling it. You know what I mean? So I don't think there was too much hesitation on this either. Pretty sure he's just gonna call us. Maybe he let the clock run down a little bit, but he is gonna end up calling us, and that's just kind of how this one's gonna go. So hope you guys enjoyed another one here. Like I said, pin, comment, get in the community. Hope to talk to you soon, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.